Okay. Hi, everybody, and welcome to our Tuesday class. And today we are going to take a look at two DOM practice exercises, slider and tabs. In your SATEC portal, you can find them on the main portal under the tab projects. And if you click on JavaScript, not HTML, CSS, JavaScript, it's going to be a few lists of projects you would need to do, and tabs and slider number 5 and number 6. It's something you would need to accomplish in teams or on your own, you know. And yeah, let's take a look at these exercises first and take it apart a little bit. Well, in exercise tabs, we can see a small design kind of container with 3 tabs and some sort of content. When you click on each tab, it opens a content which belongs to this tab, and so forth. So it looks pretty much simple. And yeah, by the description of this task, so content should be hidden or shown upon the click on the tab. And the second exercise for today is a slider. So we need to create something to have 2 buttons and slide or navigate through some content on our web page. Well, looks pretty much simple, and we're gonna start with tabs first. And for this project, I already have some template. Okay, I go live with the project, and we can see a template which kind of similar to our assignment. And as you can see, we have the picture. It was just for fun. It's not gonna play any role in our project today. So here we see like some sort of navbar, but it's actually not. It's just a container with 3 buttons. And on hover, we can see it's kind of highlighted or changes the background color, but on click, it does nothing. Okay, so let's take a look at the HTML part of this project first and try to find out what do we have and what we can do. Actually, we can take a look at HTML part in VS Code too. Is my font size big enough for you to see? Because my screen is kind of 32 inches, so it might be a little bit small in your side. Yeah, just send me a message in chat if you would need me to increase it a little bit. See, yeah, that looks better. Well, in our document, in the body, we can see header, which is a very limited main container. And in main container, we have a picture. And we have container selection with divs. So here we have articles. This is 3 articles containers where we store the whole content of each tab. Yep. But the div above of the articles, just a div with other divs, which we can consider like buttons or just a element, like piece of our UI. So not only buttons can be used like buttons. Well, each button has a class tab, active history, and a class name of active, vision, and goals, like matching with its name, but the name of the tab is kind of capitalized. And below, in the section of articles, we can see that article contains H3 tag and paragraph. Yep. And if we take a look at some styles for each article, we can find a very interesting thing. Okay, we can take a look at our VS Code.
Takhir.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is article? I just never used the article.
It's just as another semantic HTML element.
Does he have some function like?
No, it's for some sort of content. It's just for semantic purposes, not for functional purposes. Like it doesn't have any specific like properties or something like button has.
We cannot see, right, the content in article right now.
Yeah, we can see, but we have 3 articles right now.
Yeah.
But we can see just only one. But we actually have 2 of them, 3, I mean, total.
Okay, that's my question. Why we have 3, but we can see only one? Is it hidden?
Yes, because it is hidden. If
Okay.
we take a look at our styles, we can find in the end of the file that
Just the index or?
Yep.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, vision tab with ID, an article with ID vision and goals, display none. So, which actually means that if we kind of replace and change, like we have 3 articles and 2 of them are hidden and 1 is visible, like it's not. So the idea of this little project is very simple and not too much complicated. So on click of the history tab, we're supposed to do to find article history, which is in our HTML article ID history. Yeah, history. We have to make it visible, but by default, it is visible. It's displayed. And other two, we have to kind of remove from the HTML element flow. So we'll make it display none, and so they kind of not exist in our UI. As soon as we change CSS property of article history to display none and remove this property display none from article vision, we're going to have an effect of like changing tabs, and we're going to able to see the content of vision. So let's try to do it hard-coded way. So we have history, vision, and goals. Let's copy and add article history. So right now, technically, we shouldn't see anything. Yeah, we don't even see anything. It's just gone. It disappeared. But if we removed it from if we removed vision ID from our CSS where we display it none, we're supposed to see the second one. Okay, and now it is kind of like article of vision has been like displayed, and the same thing we can do with goals. If we remove goals, we can see content of article goals. But something what doesn't change in our UI, it is that the button should or like tab should change its layout too, as we can see in our example. When we click on it, it becomes kind of like the same color as article is. So this is something what we're supposed to do too. Okay. So by default, let's make it as it was. Okay. So in our project, we have a JavaScript file attached to our document, and we can start trying to do some logic. Oh, this is from another project actually. I think I would need to copy and save it in another place. Okay. So to make sure we got it connected, let's just try to print out something. Yep, it works. Okay. So thinking of this project, what first comes to my mind is to access each of these tabs and add event listener and kind of catch the event of clicking of these buttons or tabs. Let's kind of make a pseudocode for the beginning, and then we can follow our plan. So first, I would suggest Um, what else could we do about this project? Do you guys want to share any thoughts about it? Anybody has an idea? Let's ask Victor. Can you tell me, do you have any idea how we can kind of access our like articles and do some actions, or what else we could do about this project at this point?
You mean how can we grab from index.html or what?
No, just a high level ideas how to implement this task.
Okay. Do we have a date? Okay. Actually, we have some options, not only one. The first, I will grab these three buttons from HTML with query selector
Mhm,
and use event listener for all of them.
mhm.
Uh,
Okay.
and also,
We can actually do just add some action listeners for the buttons and like change the display property for the like each article. That's all. Like it's gonna be like I think it's gonna be short.
Mhm. Okay. Change. Yes. Of article,
Like
no?
other articles will be none, and then only one will be displayed. And change the colors also.
Mhm.
Mm.
Colors. Okay. Thank you so much. We, but let's take a look how the style of the buttons has been applied. Actually, let's take a look at here. So it's tab vision, tab goal, and tab active. Active and history. I think we can remove the history. It's something extra we don't need. And in our CSS file, we probably can see active. Mhm. We have a style for active, but it's not being used anywhere. Okay. And tabs. Yeah, there you go. So we identified that the class tabs, the div by default, they have, let me revert it. They have these styles, and we can just add extra style, extra class to each button if it was clicked, right? If it was active, like it was applied. Okay, so I suggest we change articles and update class of the tab Mm. So selected should be active, right? That active. Okay. Wow. That's actually a very good idea. Let's try to do that. And for adding event listeners, who would like to volunteer and add event listeners to help me with event listeners? Isada, can you help me with event listeners? Okay, share CSS and HTML. Yep, sure. I can share it in the okay. I'm gonna share it in Slack.
Excuse me, Tahir. So we decided to first get the query selector button, yes. And after that, we will use it like at event listener or like in function. Yes.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
And excuse me, also question, what about general? How are we gonna decide the switching? Because I mean, well, I see two ways. The first one, we can do that with display none and to hide some texts and just highlight other one, or I think we can just store all three data. For example, like it's gonna be maybe more like hard coding maybe. But what if we will just get some div and like past every time when you click button, just change something inside that text, everything. And every
I
time
know.
when you click button, just like, yeah, but it's more like hard coding because we have to store all three data somewhere and just pass it. I mean, everything will be just hidden, and only when we need, when you click on button, it will like change the inner HTML of our main box on it. For example, when we click on first history button, it will just get all data that we store somewhere and pass it to this box. On Vision, it will just change inner HTML of this highlight. And on the goals, something like this. I mean, it's hard coding.
You mean the
Or-
whole content of article or just the text inside?
No, whole content inside of this. I mean, for example, we have like some box, right? Inside of the box, we have H1 history and some text. So I mean, what we can do, we can just store all three data, all three data somewhere, but we will not like show it on the inner HTML. And every time when we click on the button, for example, when I click on history button, so we will just get, for example, data one and put it in, I mean, inner HTML of our div, the main div, is going to be when we click on button one, it will get data one. When we click on button two, it will get data two and data three and etc. But it's not like
It's a good idea, but we can use something like that for our next exercise. So this one is going to be a little bit more simple, but yeah, we definitely can do that.
I think we just need like three buttons, you know, and from like and one query selector. When we push button, it will be like downloaded data, you know, and just like showing up. So we first need to like get the right buttons and get data from, and after we need to like add functionality for these buttons, you know, when we're pushing, we just get data download. So
yeah, we can do that way, but in scope of this project, since we already have this project set up, I know what you mean. In this example, I would like to use a principle of do not like overdo or like do something we was not required. because in real project, real life, you probably going to change as less existing code as possible. I mean, of course, you will have to change existing elements or something, but if it's already exist and our technical assessment, our task says make it visible or invisible, I would suggest us to follow like acceptance criteria or technical assessment about this task. But yeah, your approach is valid. And hide others. You see, in our requirements, it says the content like we're supposed to hide others, and it's already kind of exist, and all we have to do is just to like appear or hide it. So yeah, but to substitute HTML or generate new HTML, inner HTML or content, we're gonna be doing it in the next project today, right? Yeah, it's a code. I'm going to send it to you. Okay, in our Slack, I made a post Tuesday class code attached in comment, and just check it out in comment, and you can copy paste it from there. Okay. All right, well, let's go start it. And to add event listener, there is another important thing. That event listener, it's a very like heavy task for our browser, and it's very resource consuming. And the best practice, consider to not to create too many event listeners, and probably create as less as you can. So technically, I can add event listeners to each button or each tab. In scope of our project is going to be okay, because it's going to be like only 3 event listeners for the whole project. But imagine if we have like a project with like 100 elements where we should like add event listener, and this project is going to be heavy and very CPU consuming. So for this case, I suggest we can add event listener either to the whole document, or we can add event listener to some specific area, and just only one. And for this purpose, I think we can select section. We can select the div tabs, and add to this container event listener for each like for a whole container, and we're going to be able to navigate through all 3 buttons. Let's try to do that. Get element by class, and let's pass class name of tabs. Okay, and let's add our event listener to that. That's strange. Okay. What is the problem in our
We don't have data now.
No, there's a misspelling. Event listener, not T. R.
Okay. Maybe I did something wrong with the document. Admin listener. It works the document. Not misspelled. Okay, let's maybe I selected it not the right way.
So when you
Just
are selecting class name, it's returning array, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's adding to the
So you
array.
need
You're
to
right.
get by ID.
Yeah, by query selector.
Why
I think
all?
not all query selector.
Yeah, just query set.
Yeah,
Or
just query ID.
select get element. No, we're looking for like a container. We need just one element. Get element by elements by class name. Get elements. Yeah, you are right. So it returns us all elements with the class name tabs, but we can pick just the first one, and in that case, we're accessing these 3 tabs container.
But it is the same as get query selector all. It's like it didn't change anything.
Kinda. It returns, some of them returns HTML collection, another one returns node collection of nodes. So they kind of similar. But
And
the
what's the
important,
difference?
it's just in a representation in console, and actually HTML element is like a extension of node.
I think it's working faster, yes, than another one.
Kinda, yeah. Okay, so we accessed our element, and now we can see that our click function works. So we click on each element, and we click somewhere else, and it doesn't show us click. But I would like to go more, and I would like to add event and access the tab by and retrieve the event like element name. Let's do equal to e dot target dot value. Right. Okay. Undefined, because we don't have the value, because it's not something we have the event. pointer event, add it. Class list and inner text or inner HTML. It's not the best practice, honestly, to access and the dynamic data by the inner of text or content of this but we can use the data inside of our tab for temporarily, and we might add some better solution later on. So let's use inner HTML. So element is e.target inner HTML. Okay. History, vision, and goals. Now you probably already can pick the connection between the value we retrieve from the click and the class name or ID. Is it? Yeah, ID of vision. So let's access our vision article and try to change its property. So actually, I would like to access all of them and manipulate. So let's say const history return document element by ID, and let's use history. Vision and goals. Goal.
Vice versa. Vision article and goals article.
Sorry.
I mean, there was a variables names. It's just I think you changed the places. Yeah.
History, vision.
So I mean the vision
yeah.
vision article and goal article.
Yeah, it's better to say yeah, history. Yeah, good. Vision and goals. Okay. And now we have our event listener and our function. What if we create some helper function with some Boolean condition? Let's say click handler, and we're going to accept some article name, and we provide this click handler function to our callback inside of it, and call it with element. Okay, and here we can make an expression if our article name equal to what is that, history. So we have to do something. Did you guys cover switch operator?
I think no, they don't.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think
Okay.
so.
Yeah, switch operator is another way to represent if-else conditions. So you just set up few conditions, and since if it like satisfies some of the condition, it just implements. It's gonna close to if-else, but for simplicity, we can use if-else. Else if article name equal to
Takhir, that article name is going to come on a capital, so with a capital letter, history, and we are going to compare it with a lower letter, history.
So it's going to give us false, right?
I think yes.
Okay. How about if we HTML that to lower, is it in JavaScript lowercase? No. Lowercase, yeah, that's right. Okay, now our name of our tab is gonna be all in lowercase. Our article name is vision. We do something else, and else if something else. We can say goals, right? We can implement some of the logic inside of it. Okay, let's say we click vision. Let's take a look if it works. Yeah, that works. Other don't work yet. If we click vision, we can say, okay, article vision dot styles, right? That visibility. Is let's take a look how does it look like in the node. G. I don't like it to be in HTML. Does it have a style visibility hidden? No, it says display none, right? It should be something like display. It should be styles too. Display.
Yeah, in CSS we have display none, yeah.
Display none
for
by
vision
display.
and goals.
So that means if we have in CSS display none, it looks like display equal to false, I think. False. But if we say display true, we can try to make it visible. Doesn't work. Okay. Try to disappear this one. think we can get rid of this picture. It just takes some space. Doesn't work. Why it doesn't work? Who can suggest?
We should string put display flex or what we had. It's not it doesn't accept boolean.
Mhm.
Yeah, we can do it block or inline maybe.
Yeah,
Or
that will work. It accepts strings.
Let me see. No, yeah, that's right. Display. Right.
No, not true, I think. It's like a block or whatever.
Mhm.
You are still comparing.
Mhm.
and then we need to delete then in the same time. So none to switch history to
Okay.
none display because history is now visible.
Article dot styles dot display
Display none
display.
equal not the
Oh,
so
not
yeah,
double
so you
equal.
did double, yeah, you did double, just one.
Equal to none. Okay. Yep, there you go. That works. So we succeeded on making it change our vision. Let's
Now we can change the buttons.
yeah, we can change the
Takhir, what
yep.
if we before the vision we pressed goals, right? After goals, if we will press vision, it will not work. Should we give none for goals again?
Goals is not, it's outside of the game right now. Now we're fighting with history and vision. So technically,
I think it will be a very long thing for all of 3 buttons. Every time give none for 2 and block. Okay, let's continue. I just want.
Yeah, it's gonna be kind of hard-coded way, but it's always gonna be room to refactor and make it better. So if you want to click it back, all we need to do just to change the place of block and none. Yeah. So we click hidden vision. We make our history display none, and we click history. We make it back. So in this case, if we want to make our goals to be visible, we just need to access it the same way we did style display and equal to block. And rest other 3, we have just to kind of make invisible. Okay, let's try from scratch. History, vision, goals. There you go. No, it doesn't work.
I
Way
was.
bad.
I thought about that.
And that's because of you didn't add it to the second and first case.
Okay. So technically, to make it easier, probably that. Okay. In first, history is block. This is none. This is none. And the second is block, and third none. And for our third, we already set it up. Okay.
Yeah,
Go
Takhir,
ahead.
just one question, I really. Line 7. So you got element by class name tabs. Tabs is the one div which contains 3 buttons, right?
Tabs, it's an array of all elements on the page with class name tabs, but the class name tabs is just one class, this kind of wrapper of our buttons. It's not all those tabs.
And you gave index 0?
Index 0 because it's only one. If you would have, for example, 2, like that. So I pick just the first one. You see.
What did
Because
you do
now-
right now? What did you do? Ah, you just copied. Okay, I see.
I just copy it and make it more than one.
Yes.
So in this, okay.
Oh, it returns all the elements with the class tabs. It's like it does depend if they have like 2, 3, or 4. It will return all of them and make it an array. And then you accessing the elements like making 0.
Yeah, let's make it easier. Let's add ID, and let's say tab holder. Okay. Come and see, and you can remove these tabs for now. And we select our tab container, but get elements by ID. And say tab holder. So in this case, we don't need.
It was index of children or what? Or the index was index of child, or was his index?
No, class. Let's say if you say get elements by ID, it returns you access to all by class, right? It returns you all elements from the page which have a class name of tabs or
I
any
think it's
class.
not elements, it's element.
It was only one, right? We
Because
had
the ID can have like only one element. Like it's unique, right?
Yeah, ID get element by ID returns just one node which you're accessing. If you use get elements but class name, it returns you all elements with the class name of tabs. In our case, we had just one element with tabs because it's like a holder or container which holds all tabs, right? So that was just one. So it's not because I access some specific tab.
So what is tab container right now? Is it all 3 buttons or only one? Continue. Yeah, line 7.
Line 7. Right now, it refers to only one element on the page with tab holder. And tab
ID of our div, which contains 3 divs. And I mean, when you click the tab container, it should click all like whole line.
We can do even more easier way. We can say we can actually avoid this logic, right? We use it just for event listener. We can say amend this out. Not tab container. We can say document, and it's going to work same way.
Why?
But the thing is, because now we apply this logic to the whole document.
Mhm.
So anything, if we, let's say we have vision goals, right? Let's add just some buggy component to our document in our body in the very end. Let's say H3 goals. Okay. And if we click it, it selects goals, you see?
Mhm.
Because now my click, if my event listener attached to the whole document, it's being applied to the whole document. And anywhere I click on about,
Mhm. I got it.
yeah, I select the like event target from this element.
Mhm.
So that's why I narrowed these click event to only these tabs to make it kind of narrow the search, so we don't have bugs like that. So we do vision, and it switched to goals. It can be a good feature, by the way, but in
Yeah.
our case,
So if you will not give this condition with if else, it will not work, right?
yeah, because here when I describe my click handler, I got the
Yeah,
art name.
it's inner HTML of target. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, no question. I understand. Just yeah, I'm just confused because
Yeah,
you did.
good question.
Yeah, you didn't choose the exact button. Yeah, but
Do you have any ideas how to shorten it? Like not writing like three lines like each time.
I did this example to more like simplicity, right? To make it hard coded, but yeah, we can definitely make it work. Let's finish our button, and then we can take a look at a better solution.
But it's gonna be in if statements, right?
No, we can do it as a. I think we can do it as a map. Or did you cover high order function yet?
what's here like, for example?
How
Map
does do like?
for each. Can
Actually, it was in we just
Oh, you mean like a map
map
or
filter.
filter, reduce, so on?
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't have time to cover in the class, but it was like the
You can
homework.
show us today.
It's very interesting.
No, I think Azamat told us that it's gonna be next
Really?
his class. Yeah, for higher what is it, higher order functions.
Function.
Our homework.
High order functions. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually a cool feature. High order functions are very widely used in front-end development. It's kind of one of the most things and feature of JavaScript. So you better pay extra attention and apply yourself to cover it, because if you like do not cover it, you're gonna be needed anyways. Okay.
Do you need to check background color right now?
Yeah, we have to check background color, but the thing is, we have classes. We have class name, and in our tab, you see we have active and vision and goals.
I think just
So
like
the idea of this exercise is to remove this active class name from this like active class from this class name and insert it to something else. Let's say we click vision, we remove it from here, and we actually let me copy paste it. Command X, and we add it here. There you go. I just clicked. I just changed the tab, and we have to do it somehow.
Yeah, we can add that to inside that if else statements.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Since we already have this logic, let's say.
It's very long here.
So if we click second button, vision, we have to say but actually we have to access this button somehow, right? The thing is, we already accessed this element in our click. So here, element that target. So first, okay. So clicked button is already something and we don't have it selected one more time. So let's say, I mean, we have to access others, but here we can say, if I click vision, we can say target dot styles dot class name class name plus equal to active. No, we actually, sorry, I confused a little bit. Not like that. So we have target and click button and that styles style that class name class equal active. Element is not defined. Oh, god damn it, not element. Event. Okay. Well, what's going on right now? So we have event, and by event the target, we access the active or the button we're clicking right now, and we assign it to variable inside our callback to click button. It's gonna be like changed every time we click it. And here we accessed its styles, but actually it's not a style. Class name is just a property. We take this button and class name, and we just add active keyword to its class name. But it doesn't want to add this class name. Let's CLGE again.
Takhir, you selected the tabs. So if you commented that, so tab container. I thought that you're going to use a tab container.
No, now we click the each button. You see, I click on vision, and I print the element. I mean event, right? Event, and it says event.target vision. Vision active. I got you. The thing is, now I updated the class name, but I did it this way: vision active. So to fix this problem, I will probably need to add small space to the class name. Okay, now it works. Now it works. But the thing is, it works, but other buttons still remain with the same color of background. So in our logic, we have to somehow like remove property of active from other buttons. Let's say we click vision and we add active here. Active. And we have to remove active from here or from here if it has any. Do you have any idea how we can do that?
Maybe with some boolean if our button not pressed. Can we get a break?
Yeah, could
Yeah.
we get a break? I forgot how they do it. I'm like, I remember we covered this, but I forgot.
Yeah,
Break
let's take
10
a. Go ahead.
Break 10 minutes.
Yeah, let's take a break 10 minutes. Okay, welcome back. So let's get back to our exercise. And now we're stopped at the moment where we can update the class name of the tab of each element we click. Well, as you can see here, we have a class name of each tab as tab. I suggest we can select them as an array of nodes. And let's assign some variable. Let's say array of tabs is equal document dot get elements by class name. There you go. We assume here we have all our 3 tabs. And here in this function click handler, we suggest we pass the name of the tab to our handler function. So here we receive neither history or history vision or goals. I suggest we, in the end of, as soon as we changed our visibility of our segment, what we can do, we can just iterate all 3 tabs in array and just substitute their class name dynamically. For these purposes, I would suggest us to use for each method. Let's do for do you guys want for like classic for each or for element in array for off?
Yeah, I think for off for now, because for each is a higher order function, right?
Yeah, for each it's just with index.
Okay, just a loop.
Yeah, for loop. Let's do it. Const tab. That's element, or even more. Tab element of array of tabs. Okay. Let's take a look what we got here. This console log. We can comment this out for now. That was a temporary solution and is not completely working. Okay, let's see. We click on vision. And it represents us, prints us, the for loop prints us the 3 elements of these buttons. And don't matter which we click, it still returns us, does the same work, which is good. Here we can ask our art name. Let's say, let's print it as well. Article name, right? Not the best naming actually. Anyways, the history, the version. Well, I suggest us to use the following logic. Since we iterate through each node, we can take a look. we can see if our tab includes the keyword which we click, we make this tab to include active keyword and remove active keywords from anything else. Let's say we iterate to the second one, right? And we click vision on the first, we see it's not vision, so we remove it from here. We click, we iterate vision, okay, this is the element what we need. And the third is gonna have the same thing. Let me explain it a little bit more. Let's say if tab element that class name do you guys met some string methods, right? That includes like that. Includes.
Yeah, I think we used it yesterday.
Yeah. Good. Awesome. So if we say we iterate through each tab and we say if the class name of specific tab we iterate includes the art name, which is going to be goals, history, or something, which is same like this. For now, we just select it. We select it and we see CLG tab element. Let's see what is going to bring us. So here we can access each element, filtering it by include method, and we find out, okay, we selected goals, but we still iterate 3 of them, right? But we selected just this one. And we can say element.class name plus equal active. Okay, what's going to give us? Oh, space. Forgot to work with the classes string. Okay, now it works. So what actually is happening? Goals. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, we added the class name to. Yeah, you see, we added the class name to the third one. And I think otherwise, if it doesn't have, if we do not select the element we need, our target element, we can say actual class name is equal element.class name. Okay. Now we have a string actual class name, and we have to remove keyword active from our string. So we say new const new is equal to actual class name that replace actual to empty string, I think.
Actual or active?
Active, sorry. Active. Yeah. Okay. And now we say our element class name is equal to new class name. Let's see how it's going to work out. Yep. There you go. Voila. That works. So let's take a look with the microscope and see how that works. Well, on the initial load, this doesn't make me happy at all. Well, we see initial state, we have active keyword in this class. So here we replaced our class name with a new one. Yeah, we got some spaces. We can make it better, but for now it works. It doesn't give us big headaches for now. Okay, clicking on goals, we updated and added active here, and so forth. So we can play with that as much as we want.
Here, can I ask you something? It's from script.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I still can't understand completely. So in line 46, you create new variable. No, 45. In 45, yeah. Put them the element class name, right? You are not able to use replace straight to class name, right?
We can replace, but for simplicity, I just retrieved the class name of the element, and then I retrieved it, and I replaced. I updated the string. I'm kind of modified the string, and I created a new one because string is unmutable in JavaScript, and it's better to like create a new one. And
yeah, I just don't understand something when I really need to create new one. We can use replace and other methods only for objects, right?
Objects and arrays, I think.
Yeah. What is tab element dot class name? Is it object?
Tab element dot class name. No, it's just a string.
It's string. That's why we can use replace for them, right?
Yeah, because this returns as string.
Oh, yeah, I really don't know what is returns.
Yeah, because element is a node, it's object. Tab element is object. And class name is just a property of object, which is string.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
So that was pretty much it. There are a lot of things
Yeah, excuse me,
to make it better.
excuse me, Takhir. Yeah, can we use class list here?
List?
Yeah, I saw somewhere there is a class list to remove or to add. You never use it? It's just a question. Yeah, okay. Yes.
No, probably maybe
so how did you open up that all the lists of how to say it?
I
Is it
accessed
object properties on the console to see that. Do you remember event, so target? Yeah, to see that inner HTML text.
Yeah, you mean this one, the event?
Oh yeah, can you run that one?
Yeah, of course. So we click goals, and it returns. It passes to our callback some value which is like some special object of event or pointer event, and it includes a bunch of information. It includes information about the click and stuff like that, coordinates, but we, in this specific example, we're interested in event.target. Event.target, it's object or this specific node where we clicked. So we clicked on this like button, let's say a button, right? And event.target, it's this specific button. We can even see, right?
Okay, but so can we see class names here for this element?
Yeah.
This list.
Yeah, we can see it. We can see the target. And if we scroll down, class name.
Oh yeah, look, there's a class list. See the next one, class list. It has this class list.
You mean this?
And there's. Oh,
this
okay.
represented as actually, it's a good idea. It's a nice catch. Class list. We can do a class list as
we
an array.
we can take that element. So what is it? Element name tab element dot. Can you try that? Tab element dot.
Class list, right? Class.
Yeah, class list, and so there is a remove method to use for this. And remove. So class list dot remove.
List.
Oh yeah, I mean, so I think you can make
actually,
it.
we don't need any of this line of code, right? Class
yeah,
list.
In that case.
Class
So
list.
dot remove.
Remove.
And so parentheses inside the parentheses and quotes. That class name active. Yeah, you can try that.
Yeah, and here we have to do class list. Class list. That push, right? Push.
Oh, I don't know. Is the array, right? Okay.
Yeah, it's array. Yeah, I assigned it as a class list. Okay. Class list
is not
a function. Interesting. Why?
Class list. Is it?
So you created the variable actual class list, and what you want to do with it after that? 45.
No, we accessed the tab, right? And here in our selected tab, we want to access class list.
Oh yeah, you need to use add because push.
Yes, need to use add and again class list, and I think remove. There's like instead of push, add.
Yep.
You mean here?
Yep.
Add.
You just replace. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that works.
Okay. Yeah. This way.
Nice catch. Nice catch. I see you guys following good, and you're gonna know the things, and it makes me like happy to know that you're like into that. Okay, so we can get rid of this. We did it even better way. So here we don't need this anymore. So technically it works. And how to say, working solution is better than like okay solution, okay, and working solution better than perfect and existing solution. So it works. It could be done better with using high order function and maybe even like and refactor it and make it in few lines of code. But so far, we kind of in a good shape right here. Do you have any more questions so far before we move to next topic? Next exercise. I'll see how it works. Okay, that click and save and close.
Here, excuse me, can you share that script with Slack,
Yeah, of
please?
course.
Thank you.
Okay. I can share it in Slack in the comment. No way. I prepared the slider project for us. Okay, let's take a look at the slider project first, and we're gonna try to implement it. Well, slider project is kinda like looks similar, but here on click on each button, we have to replace this element and kind of represent a different one. So imagine we have like array of 4, 5 or more elements, and we have to just substitute them from existing ones. I had this project prepared in the folder of slider project, but for some reason it's gone. No way. I'll try to recover it. HTML. I might have it somewhere else. No, that's sad. see. Mhm. Mhm. That's weird when you lose your project. I don't know why I haven't used Git, but it's too late. Yeah, it looks better now. Okay. Give me just 1 second. I'm gonna fix the layout a little bit. We can go start it. Oh. Ooh. Looks better. Okay, for this exercise, I decided us to pick like example of UI when we can represent um, some picture, some person's profile, given its the picture, name, title, and short description about the person. And clicking buttons left and right, we assume that we kind of switch in left and right different persons, kind of substitute them. For this example, I decided to use some data. Let's say upon our loading of the page, we receive some data from our backend. And this data contains, I didn't include some response codes, some additional like timestamps or some other data which can go with the response. I just narrowed the data to the array of persons, array of people. Like in a real project, it may look something similar, or sometimes it's kind of same way as it is. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. Each person has a name, then each person has a title, ID, and job, and info, like a short description about this person. Actually, name. Person's name would be a better naming. This name is kind of reserved keyword for JavaScript. There you go. And in our UI, I have these person's card already set up, but it's kind of hard coded. So here we have a container, and we have a div container, and inside of it we have a div card, which represents the person profile, this small page. So on each click left and right, we have to switch different people and yeah, and kind of move them right and left. And let's get started. Okay, first of all, for this project, I would suggest us to render picture from data, and maybe even create a function. This left and right button, they already preset in our HTML, and it's different container, so it's gonna be kind of static all the time. So everything which is going to change is just our div container with a person, specifically this one. This one we're not going to like move, remove, or do something with that. Just maybe add event listener to click. Okay, and what else I would suggest us when we implement rendering the picture from the data in our function. I would suggest us create a logic for replacing active person profile. But for this case, we would need kind of a little bit more actions. For this, we would need to add functionality to buttons. And what else we would need here? Buttons. That was kind of short summary of the project. And we can, of course, describe it more and more. But let's start with something, and we will take a look. Okay, it's 10:03, or I think we can take a short break and keep going after that. Do you have any questions so far?
Just to clarify, Takhir, so where we are getting the images? I didn't see images in the data file.
Yeah, I think it's something I can add. I lost my project, unfortunately, so I had some like story of my search and something, so I probably during the break I'm going to add image to our data.
Okay, yeah, we just need some couple, so 2-3 images, right, to change it. Okay.
That's right.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, sure. Okay, and I'm going to send this source code to the Slack as a second message, and you can find it in comments. All right, well, let's have a 10 minutes break. Okay, welcome back from our break. And I think we can come to the last hour exercise. Well, I sent the JavaScript code with the data to the Slack. Please help yourself and find it attached to the second post in Slack. And yeah, well, let's get started. For the beginning, I would suggest us to select our container where we have to render our pictures and select and access our button, left and right buttons. This is going to be our kind of basic things we can start with. Font style, the name, container, and ID. So, document that get element by ID, and of course I mess it up. Okay. Now we access it. And let's say our button. As before, we can attach event listener to the whole document in this case, but we don't have a lot of functionality. I think it shouldn't be a big deal if we attach just a button, just the button holder. And see, button panel. Why is the camel case? Button btn panel. Okay, that's fine. Panel with ID. No, class. Let's make ID the same. It's gonna make the life easier. We have more freelance here in this exercise. Button left, button right. Okay. Well, we got these two elements. Let's create a temporary, just one object. And person is equal to, we're gonna get from here. So here data is array of objects. So I think we can, for now, person that data with index of 0 is gonna give us the very first person. Okay. Well, let's add to our project I would even change this by the replacing like that. So we add functionality to the button, we render picture, and we create logic to replace an active person profile. Okay. Let's achieve button functionality. Person contain button panel that add event listener. Let's say click, and some handler. In this case, let's do it click handler. Click handler. So we create a new function click handler and pass the whole function as an argument. So here we expect event target or event object. Object. ACLG. Line 37. There was just a mistake in the data type. Okay. So let's take a look. Yep. We got functionality from our buttons. As usual, we can retrieve something from our event object. That target. That. Yep. Say again. Okay, target. And I think in this case, we can easily manipulate with it with ID. Because left button has a button left ID and right button has button right ID. Let's try to access them. Let's say ID. ID is equal to left button, right button. Very good. Anybody has questions so far? No questions. Sounds good. Hopefully it's not confusing you how we provide the callback function to our...
excuse me, Takhir.
Yeah.
So event object, why we're getting event object?
Because event listener, it's a method of each node or each document. Event listener, it's a special function provided by our browser. And when we click on the element, right, or on the element where we attach the event listener in this like in this function, it recognizes the event type. So here we say click, and second argument we provide a callback function. So it could look as different way like that. We usually did before we did it like that, but just in this for this example, I decided to make a solution with a callback provided. Before we did like a callback with like arrow function, but here we pre-built some function and pass the name of the function as the second argument. So our event listener is going to use our function and insert or provide event object as a argument of our custom like a handler function.
So in this case, from event object, we are getting the ID as a button panel, right? ID in the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because target ID is equal to button panel, right?
Target.id is a ID of each button.
Okay, that buttons. Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah, but as before, if we replace this specific holder with document, we can take a look at any ID what we have here. Student, no. We didn't have any other IDs in this document, right? Do we? No, just one. Oh, container. Yeah, we click on the container. It's like a area aside of it. It says container and button. If you would have more IDs, we would probably click like print all of them, but we don't have too many IDs today.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you.
In scope of the whole document, but I'm going to narrow our event listener area just to specific container with buttons. So if we click aside of the container, it's not going to take any actions. Okay.
Here is event object is just a random name. We can.
It's our argument. We can call it whatever.
And we also can rename it, right?
Yeah. It's within our handler function. We can call it just E.
So it's some specific. Okay.
Yeah, but we expect event objects, so that's why I named this argument as event object, because browser API provides us event object. It's not event object. It's
It could be E, right? It
Just
could be
yeah.
E, just event. Okay. Oh, okay. That's why I got confused.
Yeah,
Yes, okay. Yeah, thank you.
Pointer event. Pointer event, they call it.
Mhm, okay.
Yeah, we can replace it with E if it's gonna make it the code shorter. So here we added a functionality to retrieve button ID. So technically, we already have two actions, left and right. Let's do some Boolean expression. If button ID is equal to left, what is that? Not pointer. Left and right. Left. So here, do some left logic. Else do Okay, so this thing, if we click left, this logic is going to be executed if we click right button, because else. Who can see any problem about this code? Okay, the thing is that we haven't specified the right button selection, right? We say if the ID of element we click is left button, so do this logic in this curly braces. Otherwise, do this this logic. Let's say we can see CLG. And technically it works good because we don't have any problems so far. So left button logic, right button logic. But if somehow in our code space we can extend area of our, we click between or somewhere else, not the right button. Let's say it's going to be a document. So right button functionality, left, right, is going to be applied anytime you click anywhere, and left only with the button left. So better is, it would be a good practice to use else if condition to make sure if we click only right button, we run our right button logic. Button right. And nothing else is going to happen. Even if our event listener attached to the whole document. Yeah. Anyways, we narrowed our functionality just to 2 buttons, left and right. Okay. We kinda done with at this point with our left and right button logics, and looks like we have nothing to play with, right? We need to render a component somehow. For these purposes, I suggest us to create a special function which we can call a render profile. How do you like this name of this function? Okay, the function is what function is going to take just to print to our document the data based on provided data. I mean the element based on provided data. So function render profile. It has to take something and do something. A good thing for this thing, I don't know, we can return some value. Return. Let's say we return const element. Let's make it empty string for now. And we'll return this element. But inside of this function, we have to create our element. Maybe let would be a better type of variable because we might want to update it. We have 2 options here. options. Option 1 is element as a node, and second option as inner HTML. What kind of options would you like to go with? Just,
I would prefer inner HTML.
inner HTML.
Yeah, I don't know what others.
Mhm. Okay, yeah, let's do it with inner HTML. It's probably gonna be easier way. If we have a time, we can do with nodes or something like that. But for now, let's create this HTML inner HTML. So we can just technically copy paste the whole container, not container, card. Yep, that's one. Command C. So we have quotation marks to make JavaScript know that it's gonna be a string, right? So we can insert string as inner HTML. And Command V. And it doesn't work right now, doesn't work good. Who knows how to fix it?
Ticks. Backticks.
Yep, backticks. So in JavaScript, you can declare a string with 3 different ways. 3 ways of declaring string. So first, str is just a regular way. The second way should be like str a strb is to use a single quotation mark, and the third way is very interesting and useful, but might be sometimes complex. Use a backticks. It's a special character. Backticks, yeah. On Mac computer, it's actually below the escape button, right below the escape button. When you use it string as a backticks, you're allowed to. Why the C is that like that? You're allowed to use some extra variables inside of string. Say you can say using this syntax, you can say A plus strb. So technically, it just what it's gonna do, just convert anything within these curly braces in a string format. So let's convert our string to backticks format string. There you go. So here, in this case, all our string, including new lines, is gonna be like represented more readable, and we can even add some variables, dynamic variables, into this string. But so far, let's try to render it like that. So our element is we're returning this element, right? Okay. Let's say template, but it's okay. Replace it. Well, what we have to do next? Let's say container. Just take person's container and reassign its value to new value what we get from here. Let's say first new HTML is equal to so we're using the function to get some value and we add new HTML to our document. Okay. Looks not bad, but for some reason our buttons gone.
Can you delete it from HTML, Takhir?
Hmm?
Can you delete this part from HTML? We don't need
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah, I replaced because since the card and button remain in container, so in this container we got person's container. We used to have, let me comment this out. Yeah, in this container we have buttons.
We can just
And
create outside.
Hmm?
Is this button inside of container?
No,
yes.
Can we just place it outside of container?
Yeah,
Yeah.
good solution.
This
Let's
div.
try to do that. The whole div, right? Yep. Now it's side. It still works, but
Could you please show GS script?
Mhm.
I have a question here. Where we reassigned a new element, like you said, I didn't hear this part of this. Sorry, I'm missing this part of.
This one.
Yes, could you please explain? Yeah.
Yeah. In function render profile, or we print a new HTML value, right? So right now, if we can take a look in our container, let's actually take a look in our container with CLG. CLG. Person container. Okay, now I'm gonna waste the time. Okay. Yeah. So here we're printing our container, person's container, which holds like person's card and buttons. And if we look inside of this container, we can find so this container is object, right? And in this object, we can find some property, inner HTML. Inner HTML. Yeah. So this is actually a value of this HTML, what we have inside of it. So this is div class card, and it's been represented as a string. So technically, inner HTML is the same thing as this HTML inside of this container. With our JavaScript code, we access this object, we access inner HTML, and just replace it with our value we want to.
Okay, I see. Yes, thank you.
Sure. Okay. And since our buttons moved, probably need to add some styles. Align items center. Select direction.
Can we try to do it in just in a body?
In what? The button?
Yeah, if you give to body every element will be in the center.
Or we can, let's actually take a look at this. When it's so many HTML, it's getting not that easy to navigate through that. Okay, we have these buttons. And this is yeah, that works. There are thousands of ways to make your CSS align the items and combos. Okay, so now we can try to get rid of our hard-coded in HTML person's card. There you go. And try to inject it with our JavaScript. There you go. Now it looks way better. But it's not dynamic now. It's static. So it's just being returned whatever we want to, whatever we prescribed it. But what if we provide some arguments to our render profile function? Imagine we provide something like name, person's name, person's name, and we actually can provide as many arguments as we want. But what if we provide the whole object person as an object? And let's say new HTML is going to be equal to some person object. Where is our person? Okay, so we added this argument, but we haven't used it yet. So here we can say personal name instead of Maria Gonzalez. You can say person. Not like that. Don't forget to use special syntax. Person that person's name. Okay. We added person's name. We can add, let's see what we have here. We can add the title. Student, not student. We just insert the title. Okay. Info ID. We can add ID dynamic here dynamically. ID is equal to ID. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Okay. Looks like works the same. What if we want to try not our first person? What we have can try data at index 1. Okay, something changed. Something but our background picture. Actually, a picture of the person. Okay, who see the problem here? Okay, the problem is that the picture is being inserted as a style element. Style element. Yep. It's been provided inside of our CSS. Who knows how to replace it and make it different? I would suggest we can use a style property for this element style. So let's try to do that inline style. Style background picture. Image picture image URL and some URL, right? Okay. we can just make it inline, because inline styles are having higher priority. And here in URL, we can do our magic again. Let's say person that you image URL. Now it's not working. Oh no, why does it happening?
It's background.
Background.
Oh no, something. Everything. So buttons are also up there. Right? Do we have any float or something like that?
No, it was okay before. If we don't use, if we do not substitute and we use it like that, it works good. When we interact with styles, yeah, as soon as we insert our custom styles for background, we having the problem. I suggest it because we override these styles, or maybe we're doing it not proper way. Because right now,
It'd be better if we just use an image tag and just change its source dynamically. I think that would be easier and ideal too.
that could be a good solution as well. Let's say image. I would like we can remove it temporarily. Image and source as our person URL, right? There you go. It works, but now looks like we need to add a little bit of styles. For this avatar, we had a class avatar. Let's reuse it. Command C, Command V. Yep, there you go. So I think we can get rid of this property. Okay. So, and finally, we can remove our hard-coded element from here. So as you can see, we can dynamically update the person by index. Let's say it's person number 2. It's Alicia person number 4, Williams, but there is no one in there.
It was null, I think.
None. That's right. So for this purpose, we can use some default values. Default values, it's kind of Boolean condition. So if the argument is provided, please use this argument. If it's not provided, please use default value. You haven't covered this topic yet, but it's not very complicated. Let's make a separate variable. Image URL. Image URL. And would say image URL is equal to person that image URL or some default value. Let's say we can create person icon. Let's use this person. Image address. Isn't it too big? I think it should be good. Too big, but it's fine. I wish we could do something smaller, shorter. Or actually, let's find something else. Same thing, but it's okay. In this example, we know that image URL is going to be our person image URL. But if the value of person.image URL is not valid, like none or something falsy, so it's going to take the second value, this one. So it's a very common practice to assign default values. There are a few other options to assign default values to variables, but in this case, we're not. In this lesson, we're not going to cover all of them. So image URL, we just have to insert instead of our person image URL. And we have it here, but something behind it. What is that? Yep, it looks better now. Okay, so we dynamically can update our, not dynamically yet, we can update manually our person. Let's say person 0 is our Maria Gonzalez, for some reason with the main picture. John Doe, Michael Johnson, and some person without an image. The next thing is a very simple. So on each click, what we have to do, we can say, we can declare some initial state. Let's say we have initial state, let person, person number, let's say is gonna be 0. And we render our data with person number. Or we can even shorten it like that. And on click, on each click of our click button, instead of printing left and right button, we can say initial person number. If it left, minus minus, and we can re-render our, update our container, and use the same logic to right click button. Okay, let's try it. It's not working. Image URL 75. Some typo or something.
There is like ENG or
Which line of code are you talking about?
there's like 74.
24?
No, 74. I'm sorry, I just did 74.
74. Okay. Const image URL is equal person.image URL, or
There is like ENG URL instead just yes.
This image, right? But we use this variable to destructure this.
There's like N. Need you M, yes? N.
IMG, yes.
IMG, okay.
IMG URL. Interesting. Define URL 7512.
You didn't save your JavaScript code.
Send it to Slack.
No, I saved it. You didn't save it before refreshing, so.
Probably that's why. No, it's still.
Oh, and also you're accessing the person number and it's declared on line 90, and you're using it before its declaration. Like it's supposed to be on top before the.
Let's move it to the very top, where we have all. But it's still 75.
I think, so can you go back to check the data, first data for that? I think you, oh, okay.
Over
You
here,
have,
right?
oh, yeah, okay, you have URL, right, for Maria?
The
I
image
don't know,
URL.
yeah.
Interesting, it renders here, but it doesn't. Yeah, probably I do a mistake. Here I use render profile data with index of data or indexed person. And here person number, I use it the same. Okay, let's comment this out and cannot read properties of undefined.
Just can you change the data to index, not the person number?
Let's say on left, on right we go on to. Yeah, it probably makes sense because if I click left, yeah, and even here, I can say let's make it like 3, and on button right we'll make it 2. Okay, that changes. Person number is. I got the problem. Right button should be ++. Okay, right, and
Now, okay, is it working with the data 3 and 2?
Yeah, it should work now. 1, 2, 3, 4. But the thing is, then we have only 5 elements. So that means from 0 to 4. And if we, with the existing element 5, 0, we cannot make it number one, -1. So we can add a logic. If person number equal to 0, we can just return. And same here. If person number equal to data.length, data.length -1. So we just return and not do any actions. Otherwise, we can face any problem, like undefined value. So yeah, we probably need to replace the Maria's picture, and we're good to go. Where is Maria picture? But technically, it's pretty much it. Do you guys have any more questions about this project?
So yeah, no, I don't have any questions. No, thank you. Takhir.
Hopefully it was something you learned today.
Yeah, a lot.
Me too. I learned a lot.
Yeah, I'm going to send JavaScript code to the comment section of the post on Slack, so you can find it and compare my code to yours, or make your solution from scratch. But yeah, something we did today, you're gonna be facing in your restaurant menu project, or something when you're gonna be given some team project. So it's gonna be some similar approach. You'll need to render some components, render some part of UI in the function, and inject it somewhere. Can stop sharing the screen.